Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader. It's Tuesday night, March the 22nd. These are charts of the day. Well, the market did pause today and pull back a little bit, but looked more consolidated than bearish, that's for sure. And some of the stocks we follow had a fantastic day. It was a big day at TechTrader.com. Let's take a look at some of the stocks we followed and the ones we are highlighting tonight. AEN, Adeona Pharmaceuticals, which yesterday popped, today followed through nicely, jumping from $1.61 to $1.98. We had a $2 target on it, came within 2 cents of that right at the January high and backed off, but still up 28 cents or 19% on 6.5 million shares, by far the biggest volume in a very, very long time, going back more than a year on that. Look at the long-term channel, you'll see that this long-term target, if we can break through this area of resistance, called for a move to 270 next, followed by a monster move up to 6, which would nearly quadruple the stock, but that's down the road a bit. Let's get through $1.98 too before we worry about where we're going. And if we do that, my next target, as I said, 270. AVL in a rare earth group that was a monster today. One of the stocks we're going to highlight, and we'll show you a couple of the others. Avalon Rare Metals, which is one of my real favorite stocks right now in that group, jumped 89 cents or 13% on 6.3 million, the biggest volume in a month. More importantly, the declining tops line was taken out late in the day here, and also today the stock moved up through the 50 and 21-day moving averages and the declining tops line. So the obvious target is around 8.5. I'll be looking for that in the next day or two. But on a long-term basis, if this pattern holds true, this could be a stock that trades up to 13 potentially. We'll keep our eyes on long-term potential. Another stock in that group, CHGS, China GengSheng, exploded today for $1.25 or 63.5% on 4 million shares, by far the heaviest volume this year, and it broke across the declining tops line and this entire channel. Also through the 21 and 50 day. Again, in this case, the logical target would be at the last major rally highs up in this area here, which calls for a move up towards the $3.50 area. Beyond that, if it does take out the 350-60 zone, we could look at something up around 4.25, 4.5. But let's take it one step at a time. Constant Contact has been acting very well the last 2 days, especially on big volume, popped through lateral price resistance, and followed through and poked its head above the top of the long-term channel that I've drawn in here. An acceleration here could spike this up into the mid to high 30s, maybe even 40, and that's what we'll set for our trading target, high 30s. Up next is FTK Flotek, which had a spectacular last few sessions. A big reversal day occurred last week that took it up through the declining tops line, 21 and 50 day, and since then it's followed through. Today going through lateral price resistance here and exploding for 71 cents or nearly 10% on 5.2 million. Looks to me like a target up around 9, maybe doable. Secondary target up around 10.5. Up next, we're looking at HDY. Now, this stock poked its head above the declining tops line and out of this entire wedge, but didn't quite follow through and backed off to 609. Still up 1/4 of 4% today on increasing volume with surging technicals. So we're looking for a move that runs up to 670, tests it, and maybe takes it out. Next target 7 3/4. Junior Oil, Harvest Natural Resources, broke out of this declining channel today with a pop of 203 on 1.8 million. That's the biggest volume in 3 weeks, but more importantly, second heaviest volume since last September. You can see the long-term rising channel here. Calls for a potential move up to test and take out the 17.5 area and move up towards 18.5, 19, our next trading target. International Coal Group, subject of takeover rumors, but up 74 cents today or 7% on 17.5 million shares. That's the heaviest volume we've seen in this stock since last December. And with the rising channel in play, looks to me like a move up towards 12 may be forthcoming. Keep close tabs on that one. Rare earth leader and Moly Corp had a monster day, up 789 or 17.66% on 15 million shares, breaking it cleanly out of this entire pattern that it's been in for 3 months. And at this point, the objective would be a move to test the February high up around 55.70. That may come as early as tomorrow. Secondary target at 62.5 and thereabout. And if this is indeed the beginning of another leg up, we could see the stock in the 70s before not too long. Universal Display continues to amaze, now passing 50 today, up at 50.60, up 387. That's the new all-time high. You can see that at the top of the channel too, the long-term channel. But volume is surging here, and it may very well explode through here and get up into the mid to high 50s. That's our next trading target. Support around 44 on this one. PRAN Biotech, the star of the day and yesterday, traded a massive 36.45 million shares today. That thinly traded stock traded something like 7 or 8 times its float or more, maybe 10 times its float today. Amazing, huh? But gapped up, ran hard to 450, my secondary trading target, and backed off to 368. Nevertheless, up 98 cents or 36.3% today. A huge volume. May not be done yet, but we could get a backing and filling or consolidation in this zone. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Powerwave Technologies popped through key resistance across this level here, and the volume picked up as it did. My trading targets at 490 and 5.5 coming up on this one. REDF, we finally got the breakout we were looking for. Yesterday we called for a swing trade. Today we did a day trade. But notice that the 2.5-month declining channel here, along with this 2.5-month falling wedge, and reaching the bottom of the channel, the stock spiked up on 1.6 million shares, up 81 cents or 14%, up through the declining tops line and its 21-day moving average, and bouncing off to 50 before settling in at 659, up 81 cents or 14%, as I said. If we get a follow through here, I'm looking for a move to test the 798 level and secondary target up around 985, 990. Third stock in our rare earth group today that really ran was REE. Actually, it's the fourth one. We talked about MCP, AVL, and CHGS. This one took out its declining tops line, 21-day moving average, and closed right at its 50. Any kind of follow through here, we could see the stock at 15 short term. Royale had a big reversal today. This big massive move in February that went from about 207 up to 790. Then reversed and slid back to do some retesting and consolidation. Today it popped $1 or $2 on 6 million shares. That's more than 20%. May have broken out of this declining channel, and if so, could lead to a retest of the highs up around 790. That's my target. SFLY, a nice little follow through day up $1.58 or 44 at 44.61. But more importantly, the follow through may get us up to test the highs near 47, secondary target at 50. That's my trading target. Sify along with REDF usually run together. Sify certainly did. Today it followed through and broke up through the January highs, and at this point may test highs going back last year, and that may occur as soon as tomorrow. But if it gathers momentum, we could see this up at 4.5 or 5. And lastly, today's Travelzoo, TZOO, which had a huge day up 410, 8%, but volume was the heaviest in a month. The stock broke out of the channel to the upside and through double top here in January, early February. It could lead to a run to the top of the channel up around 70 plus. Believe it or not, I'll redraw that and set the target at 68. And there you go. There's your ideas for today and tonight. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.